This week, I take multiple disgusting losses in the first round of the fantasy football playoffs. Fred Meyer first timer. The Ishbia brothers are taking over. And holiday wish lists and advice. Enjoy this episode.
This episode of One Star Recruits, as always, is brought to you by 500level.com, the best sports t-shirts on the internet. Do you know who the MVP of your spouse's fantasy football team is? Jaden Daniels? Josh Allen? Is it Saquon Barkley? Super fast shipping in time for Christmas. Grab them that awesome t-shirt, mystery shirts for $10. Use the discount code DK and RIP at checkout for 20% off everything on the site. That's DKANDRIP. 500level.com. Let's go.
Yo-ho, aloha, 172 pounds and feeling pretty lean and mean for the holidays, fresh off of 16,000 steps. Yesterday, Rip, I've left the island of Hawaii. I've arrived back on the mainland. The gym at the Residence Inn in downtown Portland, Rip, I'm gonna give it to him. 4 stars. Not bad at all.
One of the only people on the planet who would pick Residence Inn over the Ritz-Carlton. I like it, though. That's why we're 1 stars. We got to keep it real. I've stayed in the Ritz-Carlton once in my life. It was amazing. It was like a villa in the Caribbean. But I think I'd go with you, man. Residence Inn is where it's at. You got the kitchenette. You got a lot of space, pull-out couch. I like it, man. I like your style.
Talked about it last week, man. It's a more leisurely stay for me. And yeah, the kitchen is huge. We're here for 5-6 days. Just an easier setup to get in and out, and a vibe that I've always loved. Residence Inn should be a sponsor at this point. This has got to be 3 episodes that I'm leading with the RI. But the gym is great, Rip. 4 stars. Pros to the gym, always empty. Has a pull-up bar setup with the kind of press pull chest machines and the you know what I'm talking about, the thing. And it's connected to a lap pool, believe it or not. Funny enough, here in beautiful Portland. So I hopped in that yesterday. Was not bad at all. 4 stars, dude. Cons, though, big open space. It feels pretty empty. The perfect push-ups machines, the little perfect push-up things, broken. Not my fault, management. You know, it's all good, though. It's all good. It's really a vibe. The rain here has been real. Last time I checked in was 2 weeks ago in Oregon, and I hadn't experienced the full rain yet, you know? It's here. It's been here every single fucking day. I think it's just here till June. So it's a real thing. You ever been to a Fred Meyer, Rip?
I've heard of it. Never been to one. Is it like a department store? What is it?
Fred Meyer, first timer. First timer to today. I cruised in. Didn't know what to really expect. Great setup, though. What it is I think Fred Meyer was an entrepreneur here in Oregon, and he wanted to do a one-stop shop, essentially, is what my vibe is here. Think of it as kind of a combo. Mini Walmart meets a Safeway, if you will. Fred Meyer. So I did some shopping and I just looked around, excited that I can get everything I need at the Fred Meyer. Funny name, you know. He went right with his first and last name. Ballsy dude. You got to have a good operation if you're just gonna go first and last name and not even try to get cute with it, but appreciating the different types of grocery stores throughout the country. That might be an old man thing. That might be a 1-star thing. Kind of interesting, though. I was not mad at my morning exploring new grocery stores. That is some old man shit, bros. It comes out of my mouth. In Hawaii, remember I had Foodland? We had a whole conversation about Foodland.
Yeah, Foodland. And you've also been living in the middle of nowhere for the last kind of 2 to 3 years. So you're like a kid in the candy store sending pictures of aisles of stuff that I've known about for like 3 years now, but it's just hitting your world. So it's interesting to see you find these new flavors of Lay's chips and wine that pairs with Domino's pizza and send those in the group text. So I'm happy for you, man. It's all about learning new things and just getting back in the swing of things for you.
Exploring the world, bro. Out here in the streets. Yeah, Foodland known for their pokey, interesting Hawaiian vibe of a grocery store. Why not dig in? In California, they had Sprouts right before I moved out. California vibe. I think that's in Arizona too. I think that's all over at this stage. Arizona for me, what was it? Albertsons? I think Albertsons holds the crown for me in Arizona. Is that where your mind goes directly to that Albertsons on Guadalupe and Baseline?
Albertsons and Bash's, just because Bash is local to Arizona. I don't even know if they exist anymore. We might be dating ourselves here, but yeah, Bash's and Albertsons for AZ for sure.
We got to get Bracket Boys going and do supermarkets. Nothing better than talking food in supermarkets at this stage, 43. I'm just gonna call it what it is. Actually, nothing better than supermarket Smitty's. That pizza combo, still goaded. Still, no supermarket to this day offers something as good as that when you're leaving a store. People try. There's a couple things that they try. Starbucks, Costco tries some things with that pizza. It ain't a two slice combo at Smitty's. If you know, you know. Dude, one thing here about Portland that's been really good too has been I'm stealing the intro. You want to talk about anything, Rip? I'm stealing the whole damn mic.
I'm talked out of Hoka's from last week. So yeah, old man pod. We could talk about some young people stuff at some point.
Yeah, we got some heat on that Hoka take. All good though. No worries. Listen back if you want to hear that, or check our social media. Two sandwiches, bro, that crossed my plate here. I've done two sandwiches in 3 days since I've been here in Portland. One of those sandwiches, bro, already on my top three all-time ever had sandwich list, which is hard to crack, man. The first experience, wifey and I went to our first food pod in this area called St. John's. Hyped. The food truck pods are hyped. I think there's like 70 some odd of them in the Portland areas. The reason the food pods are so progressive here and good, and people come from all over the country to participate in food trucks and this type of shit, is that they took down some of the regulations in starting a food truck. Starting a restaurant's very difficult. Not cleanliness, listeners, not that type of shit, but more like the upfront financial commitments to get in the game. So with that, a bunch of people came out and started doing food trucks. That's why it's growing so much. So back to my sandwiches. I got a thing called the Gobbler at this food truck. It's a Thanksgiving remix of a sandwich. Really good, but not goated, but very good. Bread's up fresh. I'm noticing that everything here in this city that's food, they really want to do freshness, good fresh bread, good fresh produce, nice cold cuts. We're not doing any Subway here, Rip. I know that's your jam. No Subway is being had so far on my sandwich exploration. Goated sandwich, however, that I had, a place called Break Bread. We're gonna give the place a shout out. It was that good, man. It was really that good. Couple things that stood out to me. They had Dutch Crunch. I haven't had Dutch Crunch since I left the Bay Area. Dutch Crunch bread. Rip, you know Dutch Crunch?
Oh yeah, yeah, great bread. Ike's Dutch Crunch.
Oh yeah, you had it at Ike, so you know about it. So Dutch Crunch listeners, it's a bread, basically a French hoagie roll, and then I think it's like melted down rice or something on top of it, something that gives it a crunch on top. That's just delicious. Winston, can we research Dutch Crunch how they do that little crust? So that was the first thing that jumped out at me. Break bread. Took a little look at this menu. They got things like the Chuggy Puggy, the Jimmy Pesto. I'm here in Portland, so they have a couple things that are someone on the Blazers, name of a sandwich. That sandwich, turkey, ham, bacon jam, avocado, Dame sauce. They still carry the Dame sauce, even though he's in Milwaukee. Pepper jack and lettuce. Delicious sandwich offerings. I went with the goated sandwich, bro. I'm just gonna put it right here. I tried the Italian one. Turkey, house-made mayo, provolone, mustard, tomato, iceberg lettuce, and champagne vinaigrette. Basic, Rip, right? On Dutch Crunch. Basic. Nothing too fancy there. Go ahead.
You're a new Portland resident. If you can, here's the deal. If you can name more than 5 players on the Blazers right now, so 6 players on the Blazers, 6 or more, I'll DoorDash one of those sandwiches to you this week. Can you do it? 6 players. Don't Google. No Googling.
Oh
No
boy.
pause.
How many?
You got to be a true Portland resident, DK. 6 players on
Scoot,
the Blazers. I can do it. I guarantee you I can do it. Can you do it? You live in Portland.
Scoot Henderson,
1,
Simons,
2,
DeAndre Ayton, as much as I hate even mentioning
halfway
that.
there, halfway there.
Oh
This is
boy,
the hard
it's
part. This
getting
is where
rough.
it gets hard.
It's getting rough. Who's the rookie? I know they got a rookie big man.
You can't do it. I'm giving you the buzzer at this
He went to
point.
UConn. Help me out. I can see his face. What's his name?
Donovan Clingan.
Jonathan Klingon, the Klingon.
You're
Thank
not
you,
great
Rip.
with names. Listeners know DK not great with names, so this might
Ah,
be
who
tough.
else, bro?
Describe a face for me.
Is Jeremy Grant on this team? Did he get
Jeremy
traded?
Grant. That's
He's on there
that's
too?
5. That's 5.
Hey!
One more for the Dutch Crunch.
Oh, I don't have any more, dude. That was a grab for Jeremy Grant.
You
Give me a
can't give
hint.
me a Shaden Sharp, a Tumani Kamara,
Nope. Didn't have those in my repertoire, man.
Chris Murray's brother, or Keegan Murray's brother, Chris Murray. The Blazers run deep these days, DK. But that's not bad actually. You've been in Portland for less than 2 weeks, and you got 5 of them. So that's a
Yeah.
good start. I'll
Those
send
I,
you a half sandwich and a half soup.
Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll have to send you this menu. I can pick out the Dame sauce. I got to get on that thing for sure. But this sandwich, the perfect bread to meat ratio. It was just a really well done, well put together sandwich. And I'm coming from Hawaii where they don't give two shits about a sandwich at all anywhere. So once again, this might be me coming back to reality, just like figuring it out again. It's like I went to Mars and came back. But I'm gonna put it on my list, and I'll be back there to try that whole damn menu at Break Bread here in Portland. It's been a good run though. Good 3 days. I got 3 more days before I'm back down in Cali. We'll be back next week, Rip, from Cali. Probably me just by myself. I know you're going to AZ. You might not have internet service. We'll talk about it later in the show, but stay tuned for possible solo episode, listeners. Might be our least. We'll finish off the year with our least listened to episode because everybody loves Rip so much. Everybody's asking for you, Rip. Spotify rap, Apple rap, all the comments. We love Rip. Rip's the nicest. Rip's the best.
Phoenix is where our roots are. I'm headed there in a few days too. Are you ready? You lived in Phoenix for 15 years, Tempe, Phoenix. You've been in Portland for 2 weeks. Are you ready? I mean, I haven't heard you talk about Phoenix food this much. Are you ready to call Portland a better food city than Phoenix? Or is that still TBD?
I think so. I think that's a known fact. I don't think that's going too extreme on.
Whoa, you're turning your back on your hometown already? What does Portland even
No,
specialize in?
if we start talking genres of food and cuisines, if you will, obviously the Mexican food's going to dominate. But then if we start talking maybe ethnic food, Rip, Portland's got a way bigger edge in some areas outside of Mexican. Lots of things are changing throughout the country. I need to travel more before I put my foot in my mouth here. I need to experience more.
It sounds like a will see. It's a will see.
It's a will see, and I don't really like you putting me on blast this much about Portland. This is day 3 again, Rip. I don't 6 Blazers on day 3. What are you doing to me? I'm going to lose all my credibility as a guy who knows shit on this podcast. I was about to go right into fantasy football talk, Rip, and now I'm thinking about Donariel Avili. Okay, you got it all messed up in my head, dude. Huge fantasy football disaster for me, bro. For straight cash in the playoffs, I don't even want to talk about it. It's getting my heart rate up again. A couple peeves. Keep in mind this is from a loser, and understand where I'm coming from here. It's an example of this time of year just being really risky for fantasy football for a handful of reasons, and we saw it this week come right full in effect and just pissed me off. A lot of bad football was played. Rip, and we'll talk about it. Monday night, 2 games. Let's stop doing this. Every time the NFL wants to do 2 games on a Monday night, we might as well get 0 games. They're always fucking shit, okay? Let's stop doing that, especially when the fantasy football playoffs are on the line. Okay, Desmond Ridder? I can't even believe I was watching that. Rip, I needed 6 points from Bowers to win the whole thing. 6 points. Couldn't show up. Couldn't find one ball. It was just disgusting football. The NFL needs to realize what's happening in the fantasy football realm this week. They can't keep setting us up for failure, essentially, is what's going on. A lot of these teams got the playoffs locked up already. Patty Mahomes, great example. I get it. And take the peeves with a grain of salt. 2-time loser this week coming off fantasy. Congrats to off constantly and to Hollenbach who beat my ass. But the NFL is really not playing around right now, Rip, at all with scheduling, with injuries. They're really just trying to jam it all together. I don't know. Were you satisfied? You're sitting on a bye, bro. So you're all happy. Were you satisfied with the NFL product this week?
I was perfectly fine because I got that bye. I earned that bye. And if you think this week was bad, wait until this coming week when you have 4 major playoff teams, the Texans, Steelers, Chiefs, and Ravens playing on Saturday. And then also again on Wednesday, like you said, Patty Mahomes possibly sitting one of those out. It's going to be ugly. Fantasy football is not the priority for the NFL right now. That's for sure.
And that's what I'm saying. It should be a little bit. Let's look at the P&L. Let's look where the revenue's coming. I mean, should that be coming up in conversations? You actually nailed it, too. This is going to be one of the toughest stretches for any NFL team in history coming up here. We have Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens, and Texans. Yeah, you nailed it. So they're playing, what is this, Rip? 11 games in 3 weeks we got coming. Ended all with a Christmas Day doubleheader on Netflix, which is a Wednesday. So everything is so heavily compressed into this run of games right now. The greedy-ass NFL with these top teams. My question is this going to fuck them up for the playoffs? We really need to, this is something to keep an eye on, listeners. Bettors too. It's a lot of football. We saw what happened last Thursday. Niners, Rams. Heap trash, pile of trash, garbage. Also, fantasy football playoffs. Cooper Cup owners know what I'm talking about.
It's got one star moment of the week coming up, revolving right around that one. So don't steal it from me. I got it coming up here.
Yeah, I'll keep it from you. We got to keep an eye on all of this. Yeah, Patty Mahomes ended up hurting his ankle in that 21-7 wins over the Browns. He probably should have been out of the game. I know Aaron Jones got pulled in the fourth quarter. Guess who needed Aaron Jones to score 4 points? Rip. Me. Guess who didn't play in the fourth quarter? Him. Cam Akers got a touch, 35 yards, bro. Painful. Absolutely full on painful. Same shit happened with TJ Watt. Big ankle injury. 27-13 loss. Game's over. Eagles go on a 9-minute drive or some shit. That was crazy. That never happens in the NFL. Ever, ever, ever. And TJ Watt hurts his ankle. Could affect the playoffs. We'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, it's a question that we'll get live and direct. Is the NFL getting too greedy? Is it all good, baby? Let's entertain the people and sell some more stuff. I mean, shit, for the fan, it's all good. I'm football all the time. What do you think, Rip? Is this too many games? Is this too many games in too much of a tight window?
I think it is because when you're competing with the NBA and then the college football playoff at this point, I mean, we got Saturday coming up. We got obviously Sunday. There's a Monday. There's 2 Christmas games on Wednesday, then a Thursday, then the next weekend. It's too much, man. It's like hard to keep track of. Too many games on too many different networks. These days you can find them anywhere, but I agree. It's too much. They need to simplify it a little more next year going forward.
And it's bad football. It's not good football, especially when these third string or fourth string quarterbacks are in here. I got to remember that next year when I'm playing fantasy football or placing bets. Quarterback, most important position. Don't get distracted by all the other shit. You know, quarterback, especially moving in the playoffs. Quarterback, coach, and probably secondary. Very important things to me. Dude, one more wild NFL thing this week and just this. And remember, I'm a loser. I'm still upset. So loser talk coming from your boy here. And I can't believe this keeps happening. Dropping these balls before the players get into the end zone. Probably not a worst feeling in the world for the player, for the fan, and definitely for anybody who may have had the money line or whatever's involved in that game. All around, terrible feeling when that happens, especially if you get in the end zone and do your dance. Do your dance. You look back and realize what the fuck you just did. Jonathan Taylor, it's just, I'm so embarrassed for you. And to add insult to the injury on that Jonathan Taylor fumble, Mom, just to back up, the player broke a 75-yard run. He beat everybody. He's prancing into the end zone, and he drops the ball 1 foot before the end zone. Touchback, ball goes to the other team, 0 points scored. Big turnaround. To add insult to the injury in that game, listeners, the Colts decided to do a double throwback trick play. I don't even know what you call that play. I've never even seen that play before, to be frank. And Nick Bonito. Dude, big shout out to Washburn in Denver. He has been on Nick Bonito for about 3.5 months. Winston, pull up my text messages with Washburn. He's been on this guy for months. Next Fred Warner is who he called him months ago. Anyway, pick six, like one of the nicest pick six. If I had a dream pick six in my life, Nick Bonito just did it. That thing came in so slow and fat and hit him right in the chest. And he took it to the house, man. And guess who's on the sidelines? Jonathan Taylor, trying to figure his life out, man. Jeez. Jordan Battle on the Bengals had one too. 2 guys this week. His was less intense because or less dumb because he realized what he did. He was switching hands or something or some odd reason and had the awareness to at least know that he fucked up. You know, Jonathan Taylor, no awareness, low swag. This is the way to find yourself on the Raiders. They love guys like this. So I don't have an explanation. I don't even know what those feelings must be like. Scoring a touchdown, losing that ball. You want to talk about a range of emotions, bro. There's nothing more range of emotions than this situation. Does this rule need to be changed, Rip? Is this a stupid rule in general?
No, it's a good rule, and it's just teaching guys to hustle hard until the end and don't drop the ball until you're in the end zone. It's the Leon Lett thing. The problem is these guys are too young to remember Leon Lett. So
shouldn't it be a touchback though on the 20 for the same team? Why are we giving the ball back to the other team on that?
Because it's penalizing guys for not playing hard until the whistle blows and not finishing the job. That's what it is, and it
So is
shouldn't be
putting it on the
changed.
20 right there. You take a touchdown off the board, still got to go 20 yards. It's still just as bad. It's just not like death defying. It's game changing. It's usually game ending when it happens. I don't think that rule should be that destructive.
I disagree. I disagree. I think make guys pay for those kind of mistakes.
It seems like you're getting caught up in how you people should act instead of I don't know. I don't know.
It's like not running out a ground ball to first base. It's the same deal. You can't stop hustling no matter what, and you can't stop playing hard until the end.
Well, the difference with not running out the ball would be if you don't run out the ball, the inning's over. You know, no matter what, just the inning's over. Switch teams. That's the difference. I'm just saying there's too much at stake with that for it to be that. It's just got to go back to the 20. It's just got to go back to the 20. But also, dude's got to hang on to the ball. It's so stupid. There's no reason not to, except for brain farts and trying to get prepared for your celly. And you better have a good celly. Taylor didn't even have a good one. He was so excited to get the end zone. He's had such a shitty season. What a wreck. What a disaster for the Colts. Holy shit. Dude, NBA Cup championship tonight. Who you got, Rip? Bucks or Thunder? The pod will drop tomorrow morning, so the world will already know who won. Well, let's get it on tape, Rip. Who you like, Bucks or Thunder?
We already know it's the Thunder in a blowout. They're going to win by at least 10. It's the young team on the upswing versus the old guys, Giannis and Dame. The Bucks will be all right in the East. They might make the Eastern Finals, but they're not beating the Celtics, and they're not going to beat the Thunder tonight.
Yeah, you nailed it. Veteran Bucks, and then you got the young Thunder. It should be pretty good hoops, man. I've been enjoying the NBA Cup. It's been what can I say? It's only in its second year, and it's clear that when the players face off in this particular final on tonight, Tuesday, when you watch, dude, they really fucking care about winning, which is nice in the regular season. And this is a year in the NBA when NBA ratings are down. Everybody's been talking about it. Nobody likes the 3-point shooting. I can't watch it. It's unwatchable, whatever, whatever. But everybody's watching this NBA Cup, or at least everybody who knows that these games are more intense and players are gunning for the cash prize and playing way harder than in the regular season. Doc Rivers was asked the question about if the money is getting guys to play harder. And Doc said, yes, absolutely. The veteran guys, everybody loves money.
$500,000 per player on the winning team. Even if you're making 10 million a year, that's great. I mean, that's a huge chunk. 500 grand, of course they're going to play hard. And the losers get 200 grand. It's a lot of money. It's meaningful.
514,970 to be exact. Rip, and you're exactly right. For Giannis and Dame, both of those guys make about $48 million a year. So that's pocket change for them. But for some of these younger dudes, the Thunder, I'll give you Braden Carlson, Rip. There's a name for you. Dude makes less than $1 million. This would see his pay get increased by 52% if his team can win on Tuesday. There's a reason to root for the Oklahoma City Thunder and this whole setup. So 2 thumbs up. I've been enjoying it. It provides kind of a simulation of a playoff level intensity, which I think the players actually do really enjoy. SGA acknowledged it's important for his young team to get some intensity reps that you don't see as much in the regular season. So in a year that Adam Silver's taken some L's, and he's taken some L's lately, the NBA being a 3-point contest every night, I mentioned that. The players sitting out games when they come to your city just to get some rest. Big L. But in my opinion, this is a dub. Anything to make the regular season more entertaining. I was going to say interesting, but let's say entertaining. Sign me up. And that goes hand in hand with the announcements about the All-Star game. It sucks. We know it sucks. I at least appreciate and applaud the league for trying new shit. Rip. You know what I mean? What's the new All-Star game announcements that came out today? Do you have those notes, Winston?
Yeah, so it's a 4-team tournament. They're going to break down the All-Star teams into 4 teams. One of them will be the winner of that Rising Stars game, which is rookies against second-year guys, which is kind of cool because those guys might be a little hungrier. And the other 3 teams will be the people that were voted in on the All-Stars. So it's interesting to me. It's like you said, they're trying to change things up. I don't think it's going to work that well because there's not incentive really. There's still no incentive. You might want to win the little tournament, but until they start throwing 500 grand at the winners of these things, which maybe they will in a couple years, it's not going to move the needle for me.
Maybe the young guys come in and get some wins over the stars and it shakes things up. They're trying stuff, you know. Major League Baseball, you see, and you don't have to put like important home field advantage on the line and stuff like that. A little money goes a long way. These guys are up on their planes 200 days out of the year gambling this much money playing fucking cards, you know? Let's take it what it is. Let's use money, and I'm sure sponsors are willing to put up some of this money for this stuff. God, that's money makes the world go around. Rip is the name of the game, but I like that. I'm gonna take the Bucks tonight in an upset. We'll see how that plays out. I think this Bucks team's coming together with Middleton back, and I'm excited to see Doc draw up something exciting for this OKC team. So a little bit of playoff feel in Vegas. I'll be watching. One star moments of the week, Rip. We all have them. We don't talk about them. What's your one star moment of this week?
I mentioned to you earlier during our NFL talk that it involved that Thursday night game between the Niners and Rams. Remarkably, two teams who are still in the playoff race somehow, but just an absolutely disgusting, pathetic display of a game. 12-6 was the final score, DK. And I don't like to talk a ton of fantasy football, but this one hits home a little bit because in that game, my son, who's 8 years old, he's in his fantasy football playoffs, and he has four really good receivers: Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, Justin Jefferson. I can't remember the other one, but he was trying to decide which one to bench. And I told him, I have a feeling Cooper Kupp's going to have a huge game tonight. He's going to go off against the Niners. It's a huge game. It's Thursday night. He's been kind of quiet lately. So he put him in, DK. He had zero catches. Cooper Kupp, zero catches for the first time in 5 years since 2019. Who would have thought? I thought he was going to go off for 11 catches, 120 yards, and a touchdown. The man had zero catches. My kid lost his fantasy football playoff matchup. So one star moment of the week. More about parenting, really. I need to step out of it and butt out of it. I think he would have played him anyway, but the fact that I said I thought he was going to have a really good game, I think put him over the edge a little bit. Had him in his lineup and just put up a big goose egg. One star moment of the week.
Blame the NFL, possibly. Blame the NFL. Too many games for these guys. Play on Sunday, one game on Monday. I'm okay losing the Thursday night game completely. I'm okay punting on that, you know. Give it a punt. One star moment of the week for me. I've had my last ever ice cream drumstick. It's a combo situation here. First is I had my last one ever of my life that I'm gonna have. Rip on my last night in Hawaii. You know, a little selly. For my last night, got myself a Kit Kat, some of my other favorite foods, and I finished with a drumstick for a little ice cream treat, and it messed up my stomach, and it compromised me pretty badly at the Lahui airport. To be honest with you, very uncomfortable situation in my stomach. Secondly, I've now seen multiple videos of people keeping these ice cream cones, in particular these drumsticks, in their shed or outside, and document what happens after 9 months with no refrigeration and no freezer. And guess what, bro? After 9 months, these drumsticks still have zero mold and they're not completely melted. The coloring is almost as perfect as when you open it out of the box, bro. It's crazy that I've been putting that on my body for that long. And now that it's messed up my stomach, between those two things, no more. Catch me doing gelato, fresh fruit sorbet, and maybe occasional rainbow sherbet at Baskin Robbins. I am putting them in the rafters, Rip. It was a good run, drumsticks. Thank you. I now will hang you in the rafters. Rip, good opportunity for you as a parent to teach your kids about whole foods and processed foods. Put a couple of these in your garage. See what happens.
Those will not be in my house. I have a well-known major peanut allergy, and it sounds like possibly what that did to your stomach. You may have a late life peanut allergy as well. I suggest you test it and have a few peanuts today to see what that does to your body. It might be springing up on you, DK.
Dude, I had 4 packs of honey roasted peanuts on the plane, all GOOD good, bro. This is a problem with what is so-called synthetic ice cream, Rip, in the rafters.
I think Portland is getting to you. Actually, you've been there a couple weeks now. You've turned your back on Nike, and then you turn your back on drumsticks. Corporate America, possibly the newest Antifa member here on One Star Recruit.
Get out of here! Get out of here! But the man stopped eating ice cream drumsticks. His life was changing completely. Bro, I
Next,
just had
the
an
next thing,
awakening. I had an awakening, man. That was it. One star moments. Listeners know I'll put things in the rafters and I'll leave them up there. Guess who hasn't had a Cheez It in 6 months? Your boy. Once I put them in the rafters, they're hanging. One star recommendation of the week. On to some positive.
I got more parenting stuff for you, DK. All parents know it's a big Elf on the Shelf season, and we started that thing December 1st. You read the book, the next morning the elf magically appears, is how it typically works. And then for the next 30 days, you have to think of creative ideas of where to put that thing to entertain the kids every morning when they wake up. And it's not easy. It's easy for the first week, but then you get on a Tuesday night at 10 o'clock, you're just like, oh shit, I forgot to move the elf. It's that's what happens with Elf on the Shelf. So my recommendation of the week is hashtag Elf on the Shelf ideas on Instagram, DK. Steal all these people's creativity. They put them up there for a reason. There's 2 minute long reels about this, about all these easy creative ideas to move your elf on the shelf. That's the rec of the week, DK, for those parents who want to just get to bed and can't think of anything crazy to do with the elf. Hashtag Elf on the Shelf ideas on Instagram. It'll change your life. It'll make Wednesday morning in mid-December a lot easier for all these parents out there.
So, what's the most interesting one you found?
That's a good question. I don't know about the most interesting, but this morning I put one up that had involved a lint filter in the dryer being cotton candy. So I took that thing out, wrapped up some of it, all the lint, put it all over the elf, and you write a note that says, I found your secret stash of cotton candy. Kids had a little laugh about it. It's disgusting dryer lint turned into cotton candy. This elf has all kinds of creative stuff, DK. I'm telling you.
If your kids knew how much of a fraud you were, so you're there taking all this credit for this creative idea. Kids are laughing. That's so good, Dad. I can't believe that he ate the cotton candy, but it's the thing. No, at no time did you want to give credit where credit's due. At least like under your breath, say, at 7764, give me that idea. Or you just took full credit for being just a creative genius.
You know that saying, it takes a village, DK. Now that village now includes Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever you need. It takes a village, man.
Can't wait till these elves on the shelves just go digital. It's gonna happen. Just AI elf on the shelf where you just it pops up on the kid's phone or like inside of their heads and they can see it. Who knows what will happen? It's coming though. Whoever did the marketing for Elf on the Shelf 10 years ago, fucking genius. Such a basic thing. And we need to do that. Winston, let's pull up the history on Elf on the Shelf for a future episode because it's marketing genius elsewhere, nowhere. Who's ever in the business of cardboard elves? Are they cardboard, Rip? Are they plastic?
It's a little bit stuffed. It's very tiny. Yeah, like a very tiny stuffed animal
Follow the
elf.
money. Follow the money on that stuffed animal elf because I mean that will get you into a dam. That probably has Epstein ties, Rip. Okay, that is just something's going on where the world took that over and just everybody bought in without ever even questioning it. But the kids seem to love it. I think that's a good. I think that's a good idea too. That's true. The dryer one's really smart. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you on that. One star rec for me. Plain movie time. I'm not a big movie guy. Listeners know that. You know that, Rip. Not a big movie watcher, but I do enjoy a plane movie. And I watched Bridge of Spies, a 2015 classic with Tom Hanks. He's a lawyer defending a Russian spy, which leads him into an adventure of a prisoner exchange in East Germany before World War II. Very low expectations from your boy going in to this movie. Extremely low. In fact, like I'm just gonna put it on and try to hope that little thing that says the time at the top of the internet browser when you're on the plane just gets down to like 45 minutes. 3 hours to 45 minutes. That's my goal of the movies. Guess what? Ended up being a 4.3 stars rating for me, Rip. 4.3 stars. Dude, fun fact, you're more emotional on airplanes. That's why some of these movies hit harder. You know that?
You cried?
No, I didn't cry. I was just into it more. I'm not a movie guy in normal life, but on planes, comedies, I find myself laughing a little bit more when I do comedies. I watched a Seth Rogen movie. Oh, it was so stupid and silly, but holy shit, I was laughing so hard like it was like the best comedy ever written. It was not. And I felt just more into this movie. There's a number of reasons I think why movies are more emotional. Lower air pressure makes you just have like mild reduce oxygen levels of the brain, I guess. So it makes it harder to regulate those emotions when you have less oxygen. I think when you watch things in darkness, your mind takes it in differently, and then you have a little bit of travel related stress going on. That combo of stuff just makes movies better. Could be wrong. That could be a stupid take, but I get more into the genre of movie. It's funnier, it's more dramatic, it's more adventurous when I'm on an airplane. I might only watch movies on airplanes from this point moving forward.
I don't care about your 4.3 rating or on your recommendation of the week. I don't know where you have to be at in life to see that option and press it on an airplane. I know you've been traveling a lot lately, so it's possibly the last choice, the last movie you haven't seen on the entire list. You've been traveling a ton the last couple months, but I'm out, DK. I can't do it. Anything with a Russian spy and Tom Hanks is a pass for me. I don't care about your rating. This is the most likely recommendation of the week that you've ever given in 4 years that I'm not going to take. There's zero chance I'll ever watch that movie. But more power to you, man. I'm glad you got emotional about
You're gonna be 85 years old in the retirement home, and you're gonna turn on Band of Spies, okay, Rip, and you're gonna say, "Damn, DK was right. I wish I would have watched this movie on a flight to Atherton, Pennsylvania." Okay, I wish I would have gotten my life together. All good. Hey, maybe people didn't know they're more emotional on flights, so maybe now you'll download the appropriate movies next time when you're traveling. Learn shit on this podcast. Hit the music. Let's do Rip's React and let's do unsolicited parent advice. Rip, let's start with some reactions. You ready?
Let's go.
Unrivaled, the 3-on-3 women's basketball league starts in January. Just announced $28 million in a funding round. We got Juju Watkins, Don Staley, Mike Phelps, and our guy Giannis, who's going to probably win that thing tonight, as investors. Maybe ownership. Rip, is this an example of people doing too much to get into ownership and get equity? Or do you believe in something like a 3-on-3 women's basketball league?
I think there's probably room for it if you can get all the big stars in there. I mean, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Asia Wilson, all these other stars that are out there, because let's stop them from having to go to Russia and getting put in prison during the off season. Let's have something here at home. I think it fills a little bit of a hole that for people who want to see women's basketball year round. And the WNBA is clearly not doing everything 100% right, because these women still aren't making a ton of money. So if they need to look for more outlets to make money, I think this could be the one. If they can get enough star power, it might work.
Everybody wants an ownership, man. It's like Bitcoin, which 104K, Rip, that Bitcoin. Everybody wants to be in ownership. It's kind of like the cool new accessory. It's like having a Gucci bag 5 years ago, or having like a trans kid modern day. It's like the new cool thing for people. Who knows? We'll see how this plays out. I think women's basketball has not caught fire enough for a new league, but you made very good points, Rip. Don't want them traveling to Russia anymore, or to Lithuania to have to hoop. Keep it here at home. The 49ers, big story. 49ers suspended Devondre Campbell for the final three games after he refused to come into the game on Thursday's night's debacle of a game against the Rams, costing him more than $800,000 and really his dignity as a football player. Rip, you giving Campbell some kind of benefit of the doubt, or you done with him, just like the 49ers are?
I don't think you can, unless it was some sort of injury or like mental health issue, which it doesn't seem like it was. He just quit on his teammates. I mean, that doesn't fly when you're making that much money. As much money as these guys are making, when the coach tells you to go in and you're healthy, you got to go in. It's your job, man. And if you're willing to risk your job for whatever priorities you have, then you deserve to be out of a job.
Value guy, YouTube TV, it's increasing its price. So when I got in this, you can listen back to the episodes. This was early YouTube TV, I think season 2 of this podcast, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I got in for $45 and I was bragging about it. It was lovely. Guess what? It's increased, Rip, another $10 over that time, 3 years. Now it's up to $82.99. Okay. Still a little bit cheaper than normal cable, but we're getting to a zone where it's not as cool anymore. Value guy, are you out on YouTube TV at $82.99? Are they also, like the NFL, getting greedy?
I got the email last week, and the first thing I thought of was this was the plan all along. Reel people in with NFL ticket. I got in at $72.99, and then just raised the price. I thought it would be a lower increment. I thought it maybe be $5 for the next year, $5 more. The $10 is a pretty big jump, but the way I'm using it, DK, I'm not going to cut it yet. If they go up another $10, I might be out because there's some pretty good alternatives out there. But I cut DirecTV to get into YouTube TV because of NFL Ticket, and it's not priced out enough yet for me. Probably for some people it is, but for me, we watch it enough to where I'm not out on it yet.
And it's the best product out there. The UI is great. It's quick. It's smart. It's intuitive, and it's easy. You want to grab it on any TV, any phone, It's easy. They have stepped up in the game. Congratulations, Google. Google's stepping up all over the place. Google in this realm, and YouTube TV's maybe their best product currently. I'm a fan. I think I'm gonna stay strong until it gets to that 120 zone, and we'll see what kind of benefits they start adding in when they get to that point. But like you said, Rip, it's nice to be able to clean your other shit out. One bill for that, one bill for that, one internet bill. Let's call it a day, dude. Minnesota Twins. The other Ishbia brother, Justin Ishbia, brother of Matt, who's the minority owner of the Suns and the Mercury. He's very interested in buying the Twins, which announced that they might be for sale. So, Justin, the bro, Matt, they made a bunch of money at a mortgage company, and they're ready to rock and roll now as far as dual ownerships. Rip, I know you're going to the Phoenix Suns game against the Denver Nuggets over the holiday season. Good chance you'll see Matt Ishbia there. Rip, have you approached Matt Ishbia now with this new information about his brother's success, the mortgage business, the Suns? You approach Mr. Ishbia at this game. Let's say you run into him. What are you saying? First thing that comes out of your mouth. What are you hitting him with?
Really, it's no words for me. I think it's just a bro head nod. I'm giving him a head nod of what's up, and hopefully he reciprocates. But look, man, I don't have many complaints. I mean, he's done some crazy stuff with the roster, clearly trying to win a title. I think the bottom line is he wants to win, and he's willing to spend the money. It might not always be spent in the right places, but he's increased the fan spirit for the Suns. He's increased the competition level on the court. He's increased kind of the national footprint. So I think the guy has the money, and he puts it, he spends it, but maybe not always in the right places. But I'm not going to go off on the Suns owner. It's only been a couple years. Let's see. If I see Robert Sarver, it'll be a different conversation. But Matt Ishbia, it's too early yet to say anything bad to him.
Keep an eye on the Ishbia brothers. Doing big things, man. These bros. Ownership, getting it all done. They're getting involved in everything. Hopefully it's for good, not for evil. Time will tell. Game I'm most excited about this weekend in college football, Notre Dame, Indiana. Also, it's in South Bend, Rip. Also happens to be the most expensive ticket to get in. Cheapest ticket starting at $900. Is this strictly Notre Dame fans being Notre Dame fans?
I think so. And I don't know when the last time they played is, but it feels like a little David versus Goliath thing. The game's at Notre Dame, so they're obviously going to have more fans there, but you got to go for the underdog, man. I'm going for the Hoosiers. It'll probably be 20% Hoosier fans versus 80% Notre Dame. There's no way I'm going to root against the Hoosiers in this one. I hope to see them win. And it's expensive, but I think it's going to be a memory for a lot of those fans out there in Indiana that don't get to see that matchup that often.
Nailed it right there. A Midwest classic in the making right there. I'm going to be that's my favorite game so far that I'll be looking for. Dude, you're moving on in the playoffs next week. Go ahead out loud verbally for all of our listeners and yourself. Manifest what you want to happen. Go ahead.
For me, it's always congratulations in advance to my opponent on their victory. It's been a great season. You really peaked at the right time. Balls deep. I'm playing against Balls Deep. Actually, Paul Wall, huge listener out of the Bay Area. Congratulations, man. You've had the best team all season. I'm happy to see you in the finals. I just hope I get a chance to win that third place game and get that $150 or whatever it is. So congratulations, Paul Wall.
Who do you need on your squad, Rip? Who do you need on your squad? Manifest that. Speak it into existence right now. Who on your roster do you need to show up? Who are you going to say, we'll come back and check on this? And you say, I called it. Go ahead right now.
It doesn't even matter, DK. He has the far better team. I have no chance. I mean, I got
Oh
rookies
God, this
in
is what
there
you're
like
doing. Get
Jaden
out of here.
Daniels and Bo Nix. I mean, these guys have no shot against the top defenses in the NFL. So really, it's just about congratulations and giving this man his kudos for the win.
You're playing coy. You're doing your nice guy thing. Super annoying. Anything you want to say to Shitstorm?
Go Suns.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Give me one. We'll wrap it up. One unsolicited parent advice question. We got time for one. Hit me.
I need your best. You mentioned, and this is a surprise, the kids aren't going to listen to this pod in time, but it's Christmas Day. It's Nuggets versus Suns. We splurged. This is the NBA game of the year for them. Their first time in Phoenix at a Suns game. My first time at the Footprint Center in a long time. So it's an 8:30 game. We've spent on lower level tickets. All they really care about besides seeing this game right now is somehow getting an autograph, DK, which pretty impossible these days at an NBA game, but I need your best advice. I dug out all these basketball cards. I got the KDs, the Bradley Beals, I got the Julian Strathers on the Nuggets, I got the Peyton Watson, one-star recruit, former Long Beach, California guest. I got all these Nuggets and Suns cards. What is my best chance at getting one of these autographed at this event on Christmas night?
Like anything in life, your network is your net worth, baby. Normies, chances are very low. Find yourself standing above the tunnel, maybe in an area where you can reach and grab. The kids do like that, Rip. So that's not the worst thing in the world, but your chances are very low. Work that network that we have there in Phoenix, we built over the years with your kind, nice attitude. And I think you'll get a little Grayson Allen, maybe some Ryan Dunn, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tyus Jones came over and said hello to the kids. We'll see though, man. I would say work that network. You know exactly what I'm talking about. We got some good connections out there, and I think they'll take good care of you.
See you next week. Merry Christmas.
Peace.